Homeopathy is a system of medicine based on a principle of cure called like cures like. So in a way you slightly exaggerate by giving a remedy that's similar to the disease. You exaggerate what the body's already doing, and that forces the body to produce an equal and opposite reaction to that. So you encourage the body's own natural immunity and its natural intelligence to cure itself. I try and understand the person. I try to put whatever concern they have, whatever condition they have, into a context of the whole individual. And this is one of the second kind of paradigms of, if you want, of main principles of homeopathy. You treat the individual, not just the disease. And so when someone comes to see me, it's like a jigsaw puzzle, and they put the pieces of their life, their symptoms, their situation, and other aspects of their whole being onto the table, and I'm putting them together to like create an image. And that image, I'm using homeopathic medicines and my knowledge of these medicines to understand the image and to try and find a remedy that matches all of that complexity. What happened with homeopathy, that when I became interested in it, it coalesced a lot of aspects of my own thinking and ideas. The philosophical / spiritual kind of aspect of it was one thing, that you were exploring the human condition. You were trying to explore, you know, what does it mean to be human, what does it mean to be alive, what is our purpose here, and in the context of homeopathy, what role does disease and health play in our understanding of this whole situation of living a life. And so something just resonated on a very instinctive level for me, and the implications of it were quite extraordinary because of the underlying philosophy of homeopathy. It's exciting on many levels, both just personally because it's really nice to help someone, and it's really nice to have that human connection with someone, that you feel like you're doing that. And also, again, intellectually, it's very interesting because the implications of the fact that homeopathy works are very radical, because it challenges a lot of the foundations of conventional scientific thinking. The fact that it works so well is very intriguing, and everybody is different. No two cases are the same, so every time someone comes in for a new intake, it's a new experience, it's a new situation. It stimulates my own imagination, it forces me to work hard, and that I enjoy. Always an interesting study, and there's never really, you know, there's difficult moments, there's difficult patients, there's practical issues, but generally it's not boring. So I just talk to people. I spend 2 hours with them. We go into everything about their own condition and their whole health history and everything else that seems important in their life. And at the end of it, if I'm ready, if I know the remedy, I will give a homeopathic remedy then. If not, I will study the remedy, study the case until I know the remedy. And then I see people what we call for follow-ups, and that means people come back after having been given a remedy. I spend 30-40 minutes with them reviewing what's going on. It's really a mixture of seeing people for new cases, for follow-ups, and then doing phone calls. It's challenging to be available all the time. And homeopathy is not something that you walk away at the end of the day really having done your work. Often you have to study in the evenings, you have to work on cases. It's a labor-intensive, emotionally committed kind of profession. Are usually more mature people who are looking at homeopathy as a second profession. Maybe they are mothers whose children are growing up, and they came across homeopathy themselves because of their children and now looking into it as a career, or people who've kind of reached a point where they're looking for something else. And you really have to have a balance of intellectual inquiry and intellectual analytical ability, and a more intuitive kind of human dynamic of picking up on people. You need the balance to be there. You have to be able to deal with people on a very human level. Now homeopathy is practiced by some physicians and quite a lot of people who are not physicians, you know, who are professional practitioners but do not have a license. And some of the best homeopaths in the world are non-medical homeopaths. Either you need to know enough medicine, but you don't need to know as much as a doctor does to do your art. We know the advances in acute disease, we know the advances in surgery, but in chronic degenerative disease, psychological diseases, medicine cannot offer that much a lot of the time. So everybody now is looking for alternatives. Homeopathy is probably the most complete alternative system of medicine that is available anywhere in the world. And to be truly holistic, you need a system of healing that really integrates mind and body. So I would say that homeopathy has a huge future because it works so well. And it has a track record going back 200 years. The philosophical underlying foundation of homeopathy, of working on an idea, of stimulating this idea of energy in the body, this concept of energy, is the next level of scientific inquiry.